Welcome back, people, to We Talk Boxing. So this is a pre-fight video for the up-and-coming fight between Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. Now this fight is scheduled to take place on the 1st of April this year, and it's going to be live on DAZN. So obviously, for most people that haven't got the DAZN app, obviously you can sign up and watch this fight. It's not pay-per-view, it's just under their normal subscription as well. So as always, guys, please like and subscribe for more boxing related content to help us grow this channel even further. So let's get into the video. So this, fight sees both boxers go into this fight with good boxing records. Jermaine Franklin is currently 21 wins, in 22 bouts with 14 KOs to his name, and only suffering one loss as well, which happened last year to Dillian Whyte, which was a majority decision loss, which many people felt that, Franklin won that fight on the night, but obviously wasn't, like, he didn't get given the decision. Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, is currently 24 wins to his name and 22 KOs, and that's in 27 fights as well. He's had 3 losses to his name. One of those losses was to Andy Ruiz back in 2019, which was a 7th round TKO loss. And he's had 2 back-to-back losses against arguably potentially the pound for pound boxer of the division, Alexander Usyk. The first fight, which was in 2021, which was a unanimous decision loss. Then he went straight back into the rematch last year, which was a split decision loss as well. So he did perform a little bit better in that second fight, but just wasn't enough on the night, to be honest. So when looking in the world rankings to see where both of these guys are currently ranked, BoxRec, we show that Jermaine Franklin is currently ranked number 29 in the world, and he's the 5th best American boxer as well. Anthony Joshua, on the other hand, he's ranked number 3 in the world according to BoxRec, and is the 2nd best British boxer in the British rankings as well. AJ is also ranked quite highly, in all of the governing bodies. He's currently number 5 in the WBO, IBF, and WBC, and he's number 4 with the WBA and number 3 with the Ring magazine as well, according to BoxLive. Now, the physical stats between both boxers reveal that Anthony Joshua is 6'6" tall, compared to Franklin, who is 6'2". AJ also has a bigger reach advantage as well. He's got an 81.9-inch reach compared to Franklin's 77 as well. AJ also started his career a little bit earlier than Franklin, so he started his in 2013 compared to Franklin, who was 2015. AJ has also had more boxing rounds as a professional boxer, 136 compared to Franklin's 111. And the KO power, goes pretty much lies with AJ, Again, according to Boxing Live, he's got a 92% KO rate. Whilst, Franklin's got a 66 KO rate. But again, Franklin's had, out of his 21 wins, 14 KOs, so that's still a good percentage turnover, really. Whilst AJ, on the other hand, as I said, he's got, in his 24 wins, he's got 22 KOs, screaming of knockouts. So again, this could be a good fight. But AJ, hasn't really looked as much as a bigger puncher in his last 3 or 4 fights. So that's probably the only thing, really. Whilst Franklin did look quite heavy-handed at times, when he fought against Whyte. So it's going to be interesting. So, when looking again at their records as well to see who both men have fought, with Jermaine Franklin, again, he's been in there with a few people that I could pretty much recognise on his record. Riddell Booker, Jerry Forrest, obviously Dillian Whyte in his last bout out, and now obviously Anthony Joshua as well. And when looking at all, where all these fights have been, all of them have been in America. Do you know what I mean? Apart from his last one, which was against Whyte, which was in the UK, and the one coming up against AJ as well. And to be honest, his last fight out, against Whyte, coming over to Whyte's territory, he fought very well, and he handled the crowd pretty well as well. So I don't really feel as if that's going to phase him. You know what I mean, in this fight against AJ. Yeah, it seems as if he's in a good place as well, mentally and physically as well, which is quite good. Now, obviously, AJ, on the other hand, do you know what I mean? He, you know what I mean, has had majority of his fights obviously in the UK, which is pretty much where he's based and boxed and stuff. But he has fought abroad as well. He's fought in Madison Square Gardens, obviously when he went there for the first time and lost. You know what I mean, to Andy Ruiz, which was back in 2019. He's obviously also been to Saudi Arabia as well, which was the rematch obviously against Usyk as well. So again, he has fought outside the country a couple of times as well. But this fight obviously is going to be in London. You know what I mean? So again, it's where he pretty much started his career at the O2. So again, I feel as if he's going to want to try and put on a big statement. But his, you know what I mean, opposition that he's fought pretty much everyone and anyone really. To be fair, his resume is ridiculous, to be honest, and like we all know all the people that has been in with really. He's probably, you know what I mean, the most standout and iconic boxer that's out there at the minute. Do you know what I mean? So realistically, I don't feel as if I need to give you the names that he's been in there with, but yeah, his opposition's been very high, and obviously him and his team and Eddie Hearn and stuff see this as a kind of like a warm up fight. But for me, I feel as if it's a dangerous fight because at the end of the day, he needs to go in there. He needs to look good, and he needs to kind of do it in more of a convincing fashion than what his fellow Brit did. So yeah, it could be a potential banana skin, but you know what I mean. I feel that we're gonna see a good AJ in this fight. Now, my predictions for this fight, I feel as if, you know what I mean, it's going to be a tough fight to, you know what I mean, to start off with, maybe the first few rounds. Because obviously AJ's, you know what I mean, he's got a new trainer, Derek James, I think his name is. So obviously he's going to want to maybe try and implement a few things what him and James have maybe been doing in training. And then maybe towards, let's say, second half of the fight, depending on how Franklin's maybe handling himself and taking maybe AJ's power, then AJ might just try and step on the gas and maybe try and get Franklin out there. But at the same time, even though he might want to try and stop Franklin, he has to be careful as well because he is a little bit chinny. And then we have seen in other fights where he does get clipped, he does get hurt quite easy. So yeah, it could be a banana skin. And as I said, with Franklin, he did perform very well against Dillian White. Showed that he's quite durable, you know what I mean? But he could also hit, you know what I mean? Because he did hurt Dillian White at times in that fight as well. So although I feel that AJ is going to win it, and I think he will stop Franklin, he just has to be a little bit careful, you know what I mean? Not to go in there too reckless and get caught. Because if he gets caught, as I said, AJ's chin isn't the best, so he probably will go. But I feel this fight will probably be done maybe within 8 rounds. AJ should win fairly convincingly in my eyes in 8 rounds. But yeah, you guys can let me know your thoughts in regards to this. How do you see it going? But from my point of view, you know what I mean? Obviously, I consider AJ probably one of the best still. Yes, he's had those losses, but in my eyes, you know what I mean? I do feel that he is above Franklin, and I feel as if he should go out and prove that really. But yeah, we just got to hope that he's confident and he's training well and he's fit and his mind's in the right place to go in there and do the job. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please subscribe and like and comment for more box related content. Bless.